brawler, and even if it is MAKO, that's still like not a normal brawler. Like, what do you think about this unorthodox type team going against possibly X Era as the two forwards?
I think Cyberswipe has been trying really hard with a lot of these more creative comps recently. They've been together as a team for an entire season now, and it's normal to kind of like explore things and see what you can do. Mako, Aimi now, I think have a very clear, specific game plan. It's very obvious, like the Aimi wants to keep the core up. The Mako throws a bunch of abilities around, and then they just guarantee goals and barriers. The Now controls space around them and helps them out. And it can work really well. I think it could be really difficult in the X era Kai to get all of that set up and to have the core where you need it. Fire Maiden, the midfielder on the era, it's going to be important, like how he uses his Monumentalist tornadoes. I didn't really talk about that, but having Monumentalist on Night Market, he can cover up so much of a lane. And I've seen him on era. He's really good at using these nados. And already, Fire Maiden taking so much damage. Really good damage stack by Cyberswipe. Kind of impressive with the kind of comp they have to be able to get all that damage, but it's healed back up really quick, and they're able to get both barriers, and yeah.
Yeah, the Monumentalist coming out there right in the middle, almost causing a little bit of trouble, but not too big of a deal. Not as much trouble as Alpha Me is causing right there with a really good Bull Rush X Maximus combo, the classic, to get themselves a power play here. Spartan move up as much as they can here. Fire Maiden going to try to prepare for getting this speed gate right in the center there. We do have Expo Chen immediately getting a power play for their team, as coming back there, though, a little bit of revenge for the side of Cyberswipe here, as we're going to try to push the goal right here with this power play. Unfortunately for them, Barton has come up, but very fortunately for them, and get Assertive jumping in there with the lifeline. Actually, beautiful play to get that goal with the lifeline, with Zoe on the back end there. And that's the kind of stuff we're going to be seeing from Cyberswipe, right? Like, we got Now teleporting in, Expo Chan playing Aimi can do a lot of repositioning there, and that's probably going to result in some of these goals.
Yeah, and like we also saw Mako is willing, Zoe the Witch was willing to go all the way back in her own net, basically play second goalie after Expo Chan died. This comp, like, Now is also willing to go really forward. They're just gonna be like a stack of players making things happen on the map. Meanwhile, though, Flying Blobbos is able to get these barriers really quickly both times, and also set up a really solid score there. I think Zoe the Witch died really early that point. Kind of a unforced error on her part, even though Flying Blobbos played it well. The What it feels like, at least in these early sets where the X hasn't scaled, is that it is really hard for Flying Blobbos to score on Cyberswipe when they have like Mako back there helping them. They have Aimi and Now's creations, and essentially like Cyberswipe is just like playing this war of attrition. But sometimes Flying Blobbos is going to get like a really good NATO setup that gets them a lot of space, and they're able to do a lot on the map. And it's kind of like this interesting like battle of zone control.
Yeah, there is a lot of zone control that is definitely going to be happening here with the teleports, and I mean, in general, I'd say Fly has just more basic speed there with the Kai and the Era, giving it all over the place. Like right here, we're going to actually have a flip from Spartan to save that one there from Cyberswipe's push. Giga Blast is also going to pass it right through Expo Chan to give them a second of breather, but we do have Expo Chan getting on in there with the real Cyberswipe to make sure that that goal happens. Nice interception from Expo Chan to land that goal.
Yeah, in that round, she scored the goal. The previous round, she found a vital KO on her respawn to kind of secure the point for Cyberswipe that off of the power play that ensued. I think really good game so far from Expo Chan. She, I feel like, has been instrumental to Cyberswipe's success in a lot of ways, because in the past there were games where Expo Chan would kind of like get a little nervous or whatever and like not play as well. But she's been a lot more consistent recently, and Zoe the Witch and Assertive have also just become more consistent and stronger players over time too. And it feels like there's all three of them working together, and they have a really good understanding of what they want to do as a team, and they're just playing around their win conditions. Assertive is always willing to run all the way up when she has buttons. Exo will play around that. Zoe the Witch will be everywhere on the field, doing everything she has to do to help them win. And there's a really solid team that's played together for a while now.
Another really great kill there from Expo Chen. Cyber Swipe coming in there with an extra power of Super Surge, catching Alpha Me a little bit too close to that ledge there, and it's going to result in indeed this barrier, but the ensnaring drums also lock Spartan in there, and if you could just get the ball in there, it'll be locked in too. And there's a really great ult from Zoe to make sure that that goal gets on in there. Expo Chen MVP, well deserved, good kills. The power plays were actually massive for this team, and they get rewarded nicely with one of these things. Maybe extra special, pretty great for Aimee.
Yeah, I feel like it's okay. She goes Deadeye, also a valid pick. Super Surge Deadeye is gonna be doing a lot of knockback. I think personally I would have gone the extra special because now the era is able to every single kickoff have a pretty guaranteed win on the kickoff. And I think overall, Red Team honestly got like a really solid draft here to be able to scale and compete as the game progresses. I would kind of expect Blue Team to win that first set most of the time. They played it really well, which is a great sign for the future. But Red Team has their tools they need to be able to win. And we see it on this round that starts off so well for Flying Blobbos, but can they keep it up? Or will they just make these like minor mistakes that make them lose barriers and lose the point?
We'll see there. We saw a lot of damage being put on there from Fire Maiden's Maelstrom. Perfectly angled here. Now in the hands of Assertive. Expo Chen tries to sneak a kill onto Spartan. A nice back pass to Fire Maiden. He's going to get that ball nice and safe. We have another push onto the bottom here, though. Drum and Bass comes out to help Expo Chen get through, but it's actually going to be a Maelstrom from Fire Maiden, just going to be able to snag that kill from Expo Chen. A big power play here for Fly. Could make this happen. Actually, really great secondary drone there from Assertive is going to keep them alive and away from that era, who's trying to approach here with Flip. Sends another Maelstrom through, though. It doesn't seem to land, and Expo Chen jumps on in there. The Flip finally does come out. Okay, Bewitching Beam. Expo Chen's in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, a power play from Alpha Me. Really great recognition. And, oh, okay, it's actually going to be a crazy goal from Zoe, who's going to just throw it right past Fly's whole team, basically. Wonderful work. Zoe the Witch.
MAKO passive, a stronger strike war was in a really good spot to win it. Played it really well. And I think like we're seeing Zoe the Witch, like she's willing to come back. She's willing to help play defense. She's willing to help with midfield. She does a lot for this team. And on this MAKO pick, she's able to do like everything really well. And meanwhile, like Zoe the Witch is controlling this core, getting a barrier. Expo just confirms the kill onto Alpha Me. And we see this team, this really well-practiced team that enters a lot of weekly, is playing this quirky comp just like how they should be. And they're doing a great job.
Yeah, I feel like Expo Chen is really locked in right now. Like, even knocking Spartan away from the ball there with that glitch pop, you know, to keep the ball away, keep that barrier alive. Expo Chen kind of working a little overtime in some of these situations here, but it's sort of, just almost keeps that ball alive. But they do get the goal there. Flying Blobbos now has an ensnare drum on deck and the flip in, but we still have one more stack of ensnare drum on each side, and it was just going to be nearly impossible to get the ball out of there. Really good from Zoe the Witch to make sure that that ult is on board and Expo Chen gets on in there with that flip. I mean, really flawless gameplay. Like, that was going to be, like, picture perfect to save that one.
Yeah, so Cyber Swipe is like they're making like really small mistakes where they like die to unforced errors or they lose a barrier for like that they should have saved. But it doesn't matter because the way that they're playing their comp overall, the way they're trying to play the map, the way they're rotating between each other and moving the core around, it's all really good. And they know how this comp works. They're doing damage when they need to. They're getting barriers when they need to. It's just really clean gameplay. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, clean gameplay, absolutely. I mean, look at that. Really good coordination on just dealing damage to the X the whole time, and then they finally get more coordination to make sure that that kill happens with the ensnare drum and the flip as well. And another rewarded again with a big power play, but the Maelstrom comes in and actually runs Expo Chen over, but runs out of time. But again, Expo Chen was just so clocked in with that Deadeye, with the Super Surge, making those kills happen. It's just so big for this team, man. Zoe gets it right past Alpha Me. This team really is just like a full package here.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with Now and MAKO, like specifically, and Aimee, there's so much that you have to watch for in strike interactions and how they can pressure you and kill you on ledge. The mental stack is really hard to deal with. And like we're seeing these like KOs that I feel like shouldn't always be happening, but it's really hard to avoid them when you're dealing with so much that you have to watch for. This draft, it's not gonna like blow the game wide open for either team. It does give MAKO core speed, which is honestly fairly impactful and will like make it even harder for red team to defend. But they're Cyberswipe's already winning that draft, didn't do anything except for maybe make them a little better, and they're just dominant with this game. They they have only dropped one set throughout this entire group stage, one to I think it was Ball and Ballers if I remember correctly, and they just want to prove that they're a NASA level team, and they can win this whole tournament. They want to play Eternal Sovereigns in top 8, which is a way I think everyone would say is an easier opponent to beat than PPL, and Cyberswipe is just dominant. Yeah.
They are dominant. I mean, Zoe getting that speed gate, getting into position as they need to, striking it on in there, and 2 more points away from sealing this one up. They kind of look unstoppable right now. Expo Chan is going to go for the big kickoff here. Sort of keeps that barrier alive through a lot of pressure. Now finally in the hands of Zoe the Witch, spends the drum and bass, gets that barrier as they well deserved. Again, sort of setting up the primary to just keep that barrier alive too. Okay, now in the hands of Expo Chan, they're going to maybe use this flip here. Yes, they do. Okay, try to keep the ball forward, maybe just even deal some more damage to AlphaMe, who seems to be the main kill target here for the team of Cyberswipe. And again, really great flip there from Zoe, finds the interaction to win it, gets the barrier. AlphaMe has a flip here. Okay, yeah, I mean, it looks like Cyberswipe is just kind of one step ahead in every situation, even when it comes to just resources there. I mean, AlphaMe got really close with that flip, but it sort of had one of their own to just make it happen, so I think a lot of these interactions is just also resulting in a loss of resources for Fly.
Yeah, Cyberswipe just really keeps the pressure up. They get so many abilities, like their energy like rotation is really good. They just always are hitting the enemy with abilities and getting flips, getting evades, keeping up the pressure. Spartan really low, has no evade, or I think he has a sliver of one now, but doesn't matter. Really solid score by Flying Blobbos. Fire Maiden able to keep up the core, and AlphaMe with a great secure using the X-Ult to just hit it in.
Yes, sir. You do have on the board here Flying Blobbos in this set. They have a lot more work to do, but again, this is that situation where if they do end up taking this set with some determination, they can get X, one of these really good awakenings here. Era also does a pretty good job of scaling too, right? If she gets like cast to last, that actually could affect the game a lot, where the Bewitching Beam just causes a lot of problems here, though. The ensnaring jump to just, sets up the ensnaring jump even before they have custody of that ball here, though. Zoe waits it out, gets the flip, waits, Expo Chan helps it in. Why the heck not? Just to get it on through, and this team, man, is just a monster. We saw Zoe setting up the ensnare jump even before they had that ball, and it's like, yeah, you might have to evade the ensnare jump there just to try to avoid that situation.
It's knowing when your team will get the core through, and even before that, like, we almost saw Zoe the Witch get a barrier with her own, like, she struck a little at an angle away from the barrier, picked it up, and then, like, moved the core forward using her abilities. The point of me saying that is she's great little catch there by AlphaMe. Zoe the Witch makes a small mistake, being sorry for it. I think overall, though, like, you can't really feel that bad about that, because Zoe the Witch has been moving the core really well throughout this game, playing defense, playing midfield, playing offense, and just transitioning between, like, everything she needs to do in a great way. Expo Chan, amazing KO, burns everything, gets a barrier, Fire Maiden, unable to win the 1v3, but they're trying to stall for AlphaMe, and they are able to.
They are able to, actually. Yeah, really kind of squished in there, surrounded by the entire blue team, but does survive. Lets some pressure off of Spartan in that 2v3, but no problem here. This barrier is going to stay alive as they're going to duel onto this bottom side here, though. AlphaMe trying to get Bellringer to do a little bit of damage, get a little bit of ball possession here, though, but it's going to end up in the hands of Assertive. Expo Chan. Spartan tries really hard to get a situation where maybe a double could have happened. It was close, but they just didn't have possession of the ball much as they needed to on that spot there, though. AlphaMe looking a little bit weak again. The team is ready to just get the kill, and yeah, he even evaded too, actually, but just did not have the time. The whole team very coordinated here when it comes to the kills.
They are, but also Expo Chan dying to the Giga Blast. Pretty impactful here. This is set point, and the X team could scale. Fire Maiden has flip. Zoe the Witch is in the net, but out of abilities pretty much. And we'll see if Fire Maiden can get this with this flip. Really impactful, setting up the NATO.
Super tough situation here, though. Triple goalie here for CYBR to just try to survive this situation with a lot of pressure and the flip. They do end up getting Fire Maiden's flip, surviving the situation, though. And now they have the ball on the opposing side as they're going to try to regain possession one more time here. And snaring jumps onto Fire Maiden, who's probably going to be the next kill target here as their health is just super low. But Spartan jumps up, tries to make a situation, but Assertive with the Monumentalist drone is going to be really good enough to keep that one alive. Good recognition there from Assertive to keep themselves in this game. Alpha Me trying to make it happen with the bell ring, and the bull rush is good. The Super Surge bull rush is good to get that one in there. Ideal situation for Fly. X getting that last goal, but unfortunately, Spartan Kai is going to be their first awakening here. X close second, but they do take the set. That's all you could ask for.
Yeah, and importantly, though, CyberSwipe gets the second and third pick in the draft, so they're able to get Timeless Creator on the now. And MAKO is able to get stacks on stacks, a speed awakening, which really impactful, going to help them a lot, control the core round. But the X team, they got Demolitionist, they got Twin Drive. The IME gets Glass Cannon, which can increase their damage, and it's kind of hard for Flying Blobbos to hit them a lot. I think both teams, they're not unhappy with the draft. I think the X team would have probably liked something a little stronger to scale better. And looks like Fire Maiden had some issues. Gonna have a pause. I think pretty unfortunate because I will say like CyberSwipe is a team that probably does better once the core hits overtime than Flying Blobbos on average.
Yeah, I could agree with that one for sure. Having the blinks possibly a little bit more useful than the dashes when it comes to real fast core speed there. But they are going to lose a barrier in the process. A second one indeed. CyberSwipe already looking quite good. Expo-chan with that, with the Catalyst, almost has flip already. Does spend 1 evade to keep themselves alive. Assertive, no problem keeping these barriers in as well. Zoe has to duel against Spartan and ends up winning out there too. The primary from Assertive is going to help get past X as well. They're going to lose no barriers there. Okay, there comes the bull rush. I thought it was coming a little earlier, but here we go. 2 barriers down for the side of CyberSwipe, and a little bit even here, though. Spartan does make it back with the eject button, no problem, but Expo-chan flies in with the team CyberSwipe. Gets it down on the bottom side. Spartan not ready for core speed like that. Again, CyberSwipe taking advantage in this set.
And that's a great start, and Zoe the Witch has 40 stacks to her name. She's 100 away from a huge power spike. Is a little low. She has to play a little safe this round, but there's just so much space that Assertive is able to control with Timeless Creator and Monumentalist. The IME threatens so much with her Blink Dash combo. It's just a really scary game for Flying Blobbos and a really hard one to win, even if they have like some tools that they're able to use with the Era Extra Special NATOs. Yeah, great strike by Expo-chan.
I feel we might be falling behind just a little bit here, though. One flip here for the side of CyberSwipe could make a big difference to help them relieve all of this pressure. Man, Expo-chan, it feels like, was really just born to kill, especially with the starting awakenings that they've gotten in this game. Look how much knockback that was onto the X as Zoe the Witch tries to make a play past Fire Maiden and Spartan, but it's really tough. These are good players here, though. Zoe keeping themselves in the game with this drum and bass, too. Expo-chan winning a situation against Alpha Me, who's might have been lagging there for just a second there. Overtime rolls through. The passive from MAKO is going to make things tough. Assertive with the lifeline flip. Gets it onto the bottom side. Again, those flips, those blinks. Really great use there from CyberSwipe. Coordination team is what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and CyberSwipe, they just got every awakening they could really want from this set. They got even more damage and speed on Expo-chan, stacks on Zoe, which in one strike is going to have it, or primary. Assertive has even more size on her creations. It's just so hard for Flying Blobbos to get through this wall. Even as they get 2 KOs, they only get 1 barrier for it. And MAKO is about to have flip. She has stacks stacked up. I don't think she should really lose this barrier unless Flying Blobbos plays it amazingly, and they're unable to. And yeah, Zoe the Witch has flip. Alpha Me's almost dead. Such a scary spot to be in if you're Flying Blobbos.
Yeah, they're looking at Alpha Me right now, but oh man, the strike shot. How accurate there can you be? Assertive landing that strike shot there on Alpha Me, who was just about to stack that stagger swagger up and heal, but No problem. They're going to make a power play of that one here. The Cyber Swipe coming up for Expo Chan. Not long enough range to make that one happen. Still 2 barriers on the side of Fly. Now only 1 left. Another flip comes out as well from Expo Chan, and it's going to be a strike shot miss from Assertive. Spartan gets a really great angle to grab that barrier. Alpha Me trying to win a strike war here with the X Maximus. Could make it happen. The size from the Bewitching Beam doesn't seem to land either. Spartan trying to get on in there and help out. Gets the big Giga Blast there. Sort of keeps the speed, putting up pressure onto the other team now. Now we're going to have Spartan move up one more time here with that. Wow, so good to use that eject button there. Spartan makes it happen with a strike barrage combo and gets back in time, and they're going to put themselves on the board, keep themselves alive in this game.
Yeah, potential reverse sweep on the set, and I really think set 5, there's so many scaling awakenings that Flying Blobbos can still get, and there's not as many that are left for the side of Cyber Swipe. And so if they can somehow bring the set back and reverse sweep it, it is a great spot to be in if you're Flying Blobbos, who are looking to be on the top of their group if they win this game.
Yep, a big flip here from Alpha Me. Goes for the big bull rush. Hits everyone because the Super Surge is actually doing wonders right now. Expo Chan had a situation where they can make it happen, but not enough cooldowns in that spot. Fire Maiden look a little bit low. Going to play goalie for just a moment here, though. Got Spartan helping out Alpha Me to try to make it on through. A flip here from Expo Chan is going to result in 1 barrier. Everyone jumps on in there. Zoe the Witch on the front line now trying to win a strike war against Fire Maiden and Spartan, but not going to work out just yet. Alpha Me now has a situation here with Spartan, and yeah, Spartan gets the ball rolled just right there up to Alpha Me and walks on in exactly where they need to be. And yeah, this reverse sweep could actually happen. X, you know, it's X. He could be scaling, guys.
Yeah, and great start to the round. Fire Maiden, these extra special Monumentalist Tornadoes just doing so much work. And a big thing is the Cyber Swipe just isn't finding as many KOs as they were earlier. And now with both barriers down, Alpha Me has flip. If Fire Maiden can just figure out how to get the core through this giant MAKO in midfield that has flip and stacks, Flying Blobbos could score.
They could score here. Alpha Me looking a bit weak. So weak that they're actually off the map here, though. Spartan overextends just a little bit there. Uses the flip to relieve some pressure. Expo Chan keeping the speed as well. And now has flip. The Catalyst doing wonders now. Zoe Witch wins a strike war against Fire Maiden, but it's not enough. Spartan keeps that one alive. Alpha Me finally back and trying to help win a couple of strike wars there. It's time for Spartan to move up and make a play. Okay, defended here from Assertive. Going to spend the flip, seeing the Monumentalist destruction coming on in there. Secondary to make sure that we're not losing a strike war against this X with no cooldowns. So the Witch is now against Fire Maiden at the top line here, though. Spends the ensnaring drum, which maybe could have been spent for a goal, but they felt defensively enough to use it there. Now Fire Maiden is the one with the flip. Could make it happen if Alpha Me can hold the ball for just a moment there. Spends the flip. No bull rush to go with it, unfortunately, though. But we do have a situation where Spartan is gonna somehow run just too fast. He was a little too fast. The ball seems to just gotten right past him there, and it's gonna be Cyber Swipe taking this game right under their noses.
Heartbreaking way to lose it. Night Market Angle just couldn't read it. It happens. It's really hard in these overtime games. And Cyber Swipe, things were looking scary. The X team was about to scale if they won that set, but they pull through. They top their group. They get the top 8 guaranteed at this tournament. They get to play Eternal Sovereigns as their match, which on paper is a better match than what they would have had if they lost. And that's huge for them. They have a really good bracket now to win this tournament because of this performance.
Well-deserved performance there. Cyber Swipe, pretty much from the beginning to about halfway, was just dominant with kills, dominant with everything, and a little bit of scaling allowed the other team to bring it back just a little bit there. Had a real good glimpse of life there, and Cyber Swipe was able to keep that pressure up, and they win out there. Well-deserved again from this team. Lots of great synergy coming out there, though. Expo Chan did such a good job of finding those kills with the Cyber Swipe, Glitch Pop, Cyber Swipe, Flip, and Alpha Me on the other side. Also, great job of getting those Bull Rush kills, too. And that was a tough one. That was a big game here. Cyber Swipe now looking so good in this tournament. As you said, they're going to certainly be playing against Eternal Sovereigns now instead of PPL, and we will certainly be seeing what happens there pretty soon as we're gonna actually hit it here, going another break. Liara, anything else you want to say to the good people? That was such a sick game.
No, that's all. It was really cool, really excited for the rest of the day. This is when the tournament gets really hype and there's going to be a ton of really good matches.
Absolutely good matches. Nothing but good matches coming up there, though. Everyone, stay tuned once again. We're going to have some more matches coming up there. I believe Saya and Gret, I, are going to be joining you guys on the casting. And we will see you guys in just a few minutes.